Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboy Roundup, key matchups versus Steelers, Mike Tomlin praises Dak. Happy Thursday, Dallas Cowboys Nation. While we still have to wait a few days for the beloved Cowboys to take the field, Week 5 of the NFL regular season officially kicks off in primetime tonight. Dallas has had an interesting week at the Star, from a surprise injury to starting receiver Brandon Cooks to Jerry Jones acting like nothing is wrong and arriving to practice in a helicopter. From now until kickoff on Sunday Night Football, let's hope everyone can stay healthy. In the meantime, let's take a look around the web at some of the headlines we may have missed that are making the rounds in Cowboys Nation. The Dallas Cowboys face a tough test against the Steelers, who are coming off their first loss of the season. Blogging the Boys highlighted 3 key matchups to watch in Week 5, with some rookies facing their toughest tests of the season. Ahead of Week 5, Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin had some high praise for Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. "I see a guy who is ultra-competitive, has unbelievable arm talent, natural leadership skills," Tomlin said, per Athlon Sports. "You feel the guys rallying around him. He's got a real steady demeanor." The Dallas Cowboys will be without wide receiver Brandon Cooks for their upcoming game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, as an infection has developed in his right knee following a recent procedure. The infection surfaced after Cooks underwent surgery in New York post the Cowboys win over the Giants. After returning to Dallas and experiencing symptoms, Cooks had a follow-up procedure performed by the team doctors to clean out the infection. Head coach Mike McCarthy confirmed Cooks will not play this Sunday, and his return timeline is uncertain. Cooks had been managing a knee issue since training camp, but it hadn't stopped him from participating in practices or games. Earlier in the summer, Cooks had undergone a similar knee procedure without complications. In the first 4 games of this season, he has recorded 9 receptions for 91 yards and a touchdown, with the majority of his production coming in the season-opening win against the Cleveland Browns. Since joining the Cowboys in a trade from the Houston Texans in 2023, Cooks has struggled to make a significant impact on offense. The veteran receiver, who has recorded 6 1,000-yard seasons with 4 different teams, New Orleans, New England, Los Angeles Rams, Houston, was expected to bolster the Cowboys' passing game. However, despite his slow start this season, Cooks has been a valuable presence in the locker room, serving as a mentor to younger players and demonstrating his speed during training camp. With Cooks sidelined, the Cowboys' wide receiver group lacks depth and experience behind CeeDee Lamb, who leads the team with 20 receptions for 316 yards and 2 touchdowns. The remaining receivers on the roster, Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, Davante Turpin, and Ryan Flournoy, have combined for just 21 catches this season. McCarthy expressed confidence in these players, highlighting that they will have more opportunities to step up in Cook's absence. Despite having $22.25 million in salary cap space, the Cowboys appear reluctant to make a trade to bolster the receiver position, preferring to save the cap room for future needs, including dead money from expiring contracts in 2025. The last time the Cowboys made an in-season trade for a wide receiver was in 2018 when they acquired Amari Cooper from the Oakland Raiders. McCarthy emphasized his belief in the current roster, stating that the younger receivers will have chances to contribute more moving forward. After placing defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence on the injured reserve list and divulging that Micah Parsons will likely miss the Cowboys' primetime showdown with the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday night, Dallas disclosed that starting wide receiver Brandon Cooks developed an infection in his knee after receiving injections for an injury he suffered in the team's victory over the New York Giants in Week 4. As a result of the infection, Cooks has been ruled out of the Steelers game. The Cowboys will be without Brandon Cooks for at least this week versus Pittsburgh and potentially longer after an infection developed in his right knee following a procedure he had after remaining in New York following the win against the Giants, according to multiple sources. Cooks, along with CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Tolbert, have comprised the Cowboys' trio of starting WRs this year. Thus far in 2024, Cooks has 9 receptions for 91 yards and 1 touchdown. The 31-year-old veteran is in his 11th season in the NFL. After winning the Biletnikoff Award at Oregon State in 2013, Cooks was a first-round selection in the 2014 NFL Draft. With 6 1,000-yard receiving seasons under his belt, he is playing his second season for the Cowboys. Dallas will look to backup receivers KaVontae Turpin and Jalen Brooks to fill the void left by Cook's absence. Turpin played in 16 games last year for the Cowboys and had 3 TDs on 12 receptions. A dynamic athlete, he also rushed for 110 yards and another TD on 11 carries. Additionally, in Week 1 this season, he had a spectacular punt return for a touchdown against the Cleveland Browns. Why Cowboys should reconsider their stance on Davante Adams trade. Trading for Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams could help the Dallas Cowboys overcome a lackluster start, but they don't seem willing to do it. Per NFL Media's Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo, Adams requested a trade Tuesday. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported Vegas would consider trading the star wideout for a package that includes a second-round pick and added compensation. On Wednesday, The Athletic's Diana Rossini, Jeff Howe and Alex Andrejev shared that the Cowboys were keeping tabs on Adams' situation, but they're not in trade talks. Dallas' potential reservations about Adams, 31, are understandable. They already have a number 1 WR in CeeDee Lamb, who signed a 4-year, $136 million extension in August. Adams is in the 3rd year of a 5-year, $140 million deal and would probably have to restructure his contract to make a trade feasible. Plus, Schefter noted the New Orleans Saints and New York Jets are at the top of Adams' wish list. Of course, Adams played with Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers for 8 seasons, 2014-21, in Green Bay. Saints QB Derek Carr was his college teammate at Fresno State, and they played together in Vegas in 2022. Still, the Cowboys should reconsider and make a run at Adams. Acquiring a 3-time first-team All-Pro would give the Cowboys needed firepower. Dallas is tied for 11th in the league in points scored, 24.3, and 20th in expected points contributed, 3.64, per Pro Football Reference. Lamb is among the best WRs in the league, but opponents may be double-teaming him. NFL Next Gen Stats says he's averaging 2.1 separation yards, tied for the 4th worst mark in the league, minimum 13 targets. ESPN's Todd Archer reported Wednesday that Cowboys number 2 WR Brandon Cooks, right knee infection, will miss Sunday's road game against the Pittsburgh Steelers and could be out for multiple weeks. If he does miss more time, life may become more difficult for Lamb. While Cowboys QB Dak Prescott isn't a 4-time MVP like Rodgers, he's still a solid starter who could make it work with Adams. Through 4 starts, Prescott is 3rd in the league in passing yards, 1,072, and tied for 5th in passing TDs, 6. The Cowboys seem like they need a jolt after a 2-2 start. Adams could provide that, strengthening their Super Bowl chances. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Davante Adams? Leave your opinion in the comments.